Ever wondered what goes on inside that intricate powerhouse between your ears? Well, buckle up because today we've got a mind-bending journey in store for you. Get ready to dive deep into the realm of psychology as we unveil 15 mind-blowing psychological facts that might just leave you questioning everything you thought you knew. Trust me, this is a must-watch. So, are you prepared to have your mind blown? Let's jump right in. Number 15, we care more for a single person than anything. The inclination to prioritize concern for an individual over massive tragedies was a focal point in another University of Pennsylvania today. Researchers delve into people's donation behavior based on specific stimuli. One group was exposed to the image of a starving young girl, while the second group received information about millions of people succumbing to hunger. The third group received both narratives. The results show that the group presented only with the statistical information donated the least, followed by those who were informed about both aspects. Surprisingly, those who empathized with the story of the little girl contributed twice as much as the statistical group. Psychologists attribute this phenomenon to the perception that when a problem seems too vast, individuals may feel powerless and inconsequential, doubting the impact of their efforts. In contrast, the prospect of aiding one starving girl appears more tangible and achievable than tackling the monumental issue of world hunger. Number 14, catching someone yawn could lead to a bond. As you kick off your workday fueled with enthusiasm to tackle your tasks, imagine finding yourself in the morning meeting at your cubicle. As you immerse yourself in the discussions, your neighbor unleashes a massive, attention-grabbing yawn. Surprisingly, you find yourself responding with a yawn of your own, even though fatigue isn't the culprit. This phenomenon is known as a response yawn. The contagious nature of yawns has led to several theories, with one prominent explanation linking them to empathy. Essentially, response yawn serves as a display of empathy. It's the reason why young children who haven't fully developed a sense of empathy or individuals on the autism spectrum are less prone to engaging in response yawns. This intriguing aspect of human behavior highlights the social and emotional dimensions intertwined with a seemingly simple and involuntary act. Number 13, Plan A doesn't work if you have a backup plan. Having a backup plan may actually hinder the success of your primary plan. According to research conducted by scientists at the University of Pennsylvania, in their study, volunteers were assessed on a specific task, and those who considered the backup plan performed whose than those who did not. The study also revealed that participants, upon realizing they had alternative options, experienced a decrease in motivation. This phenomenon aligns with the expectancy theory formulated by Victor H. Froome in 1964. Essentially, this theory suggests that our motivation is intricately tied to our belief in the likelihood of success. The very nature of having a backup plan implies an expectation of initial failure. While thinking ahead is deemed important, researchers caution against becoming overly immersed in the details. It's possible that by overly relying on contingency plans, we inadvertently undermine our chances of success. Therefore, it's crucial to strike a balance between preparedness and avoiding excessive preoccupation with potential setbacks. Number 12, beginnings and ends are easier to remember than middles. Have you experienced that moment when you go grocery shopping and realize you forgot your list? When you try to recall the items without it, you can easily visualize and remember things from the beginning and the end. However, the details in the middle tend to get a bit blurry. A study in the frontiers of human neuroscience backs up this phenomenon, confirming it as a serial possession effect. This is why you might recall the conclusion of your manager's presentations vividly, but the middle part is not as clear. So it's a real phenomenon, and if you struggle with it, it doesn't necessarily mean you have ADHD. Number 11, it takes 5 positive things to outweigh a single negative thing. You've probably come across a suggestion to begin and conclude your day by reflecting on a handful of things that bring you joy. This practice contributes to maintaining a sense of equilibrium, given the negativity bias ingrained in us, which tends to draw our attention to the negative aspects rather than the positive. It's counterproductive to dwell on the downsides that pull you down. Aim for the balance by focusing on 5 positive aspects for every 1 negative aspect in your life. Who knows, you might just attract something truly amazing. Number 10, food tastes better when someone else makes it. Have you ever thought about why food seems to have that extra touch of deliciousness when it's made by mom? Actually, food tends to taste better when prepared by anyone else who knows their way around the kitchen. Scientists explain this phenomenon by pointing out that when you cook a meal for yourself, by the time it's ready to eat, the anticipation has dwindled, making it less thrilling and consequently less enjoyable. Number 9, we'd rather know that something bad is coming than not know what to expect. Ever had that sinking feeling when someone says, "We need to talk"? Your mind gets bombarded with a plethora of negative possibilities. If it's your significant other, you might wish they'd just end the relationship on the spot. If it's your boss, you might prefer to outright fire you. Studies reveal that we lean towards knowing about impending bad news rather than facing uncertainty. This is because when our minds are left in the dark, they go into hyperdrive, attempting to anticipate all potential outcomes, whether positive or negative. Number 8, when one rule seems too strict, we want to break more. In the fascinating realm of psychological reactance, individuals often tend to defy our rules more vigorously when they sense restrictions on their freedoms. The drive behind this behavior is an attempt to reclaim the perceived freedom that they feel is being withheld. This phenomenon finds its particularly vivid illustration in the world of teenagers. When faced with being grounded, they not only might resort to sneaking out, but may also delve into other daring behaviors as a way to express their reluctance. Number 7, there's a reason we want to squeeze cute things. Who can resist the charm of puppies and babies? I mean, isn't the urge to shower them with love, squeeze them, and cuddle just irresistible? Surprisingly, this instinctive reaction has a name. It's called cute aggression. As explained in the Frontiers in Behavioral Neuroscience article, the concept of cute aggression suggests that when we're overwhelmed with overwhelmingly positive emotions triggered by an adorable pup or baby, a touch of aggression comes into play. This subtle aggression helps to balance out those intense feelings, ensuring that we express our affection without accidentally causing harm to those innocent little beings. Number 6, we unintentionally believe what we want to believe. Confirmation bias involves our inclination to interpret information in a manner that aligns with our existing beliefs. This phenomenon is evident when individuals with specific political perspectives gravitate toward particular news sources. Attempting to alter Uncle Fred's viewpoint on international relations might be an exercise in futility. Not only does confirmation bias drive us to actively seek information that reinforces our pre-existing convictions, but it also prompts us to dismiss any data that contradicts our established beliefs. Number 5, you're programmed to most love the music you listened to in high school. Great tunes can kickstart the release of dopamine and other happy chemicals. Remember every teen shouting, "This is my jam!" at a party? The high school days, or more like the ages of 12 to 22, when everything seems extra significant, especially music. Number 4, memories are more like pieced together pictures and accurate snapshots. Imagine memories that feel real in your mind, yet they're not entirely true, either completely or partially. Our brains have a knack for occasionally filling in gaps with inaccuracies when recalling events, relying on the essence of what occurred rather than precise details. Number 3, we look for human faces, even in inanimate objects. Pareidolia is our inclination to see distinct and often meaningful shapes like faces and patterns that are random or unclear. A classic instance is spotting the image of a man on the moon. Certain scientists explain this tendency by highlighting our social nature. Recognizing faces is crucial for us, so much so that we'd rather imagine one even where it isn't really there than risk overlooking a genuine face. Number 2, people rise to our high expectations and don't rise if we have low ones. The Pygmalion effect delves into the fascinating realm of psychology where the simple act of having high expectations can remarkably enhance one's performance. Astonishingly, the students labeled as having high potential indeed transform into high achievers, owing much of their success to the elevated expectations instilled by their teachers. Number 1, our brain doesn't think long-term. Sure, you might consider kicking off that significant work or school project at this moment, but hey, you've got a good chunk of months to play with, right? Time flies, and before you realize it, those months have slipped away, leaving you in a mad rush to squeeze what feels like months worth of work into a mere handful of days. Our brains have a knack for handling short-term deadlines, the ones measured in days. They seem more manageable, more tangible compared to the somewhat abstract and distant deadlines spanning months or even years. Thanks for joining us today on this exploration of the human psyche. Until next time, stay curious, stay mind-blown, and keep seeking knowledge. Remember, the more you know about yourself, the more you understand the world around you. Take care, and see you in the next mind-expanding adventure.